Welcome to today's video tutorial. We'll draw a bull and animal that symbolizes strength, ferocity, and pride. Bulls are often depicted in art, especially in works that symbolize perseverance and determination. Therefore, drawing a bull is not only a fun experience, but also helps you practice expressing the muscles, shapes, and strong spirit of the animal. Prepare your drawing paper, pencils, erasers, and if you want to finish with colors, you can prepare some crayons or watercolors. Now we'll start from the most basic steps to gradually build a powerful bull. First, visualize the overall shape of the bull you want to draw. In today's video, we'll draw the most powerful pose, the bull standing with its head slightly bowed, ready to charge forward. This pose helps to highlight the large chest muscles, strong shoulders, and the head with its majestic curved horns. Let's start with the basic outline. Draw a large horizontal oval for the main body. The body of the bull is thick and wide, so the oval should be long and slightly rounded, not too thin. Once you have the body, draw a smaller oval in front for the chest and shoulders. The two ovals will overlap slightly to create a natural connection when you join them with the outline. Next, we'll sketch the head. Draw a rounded triangle with the head facing forward. The bull's head is quite square and has a strong skull, so don't make it too round. Once you have the main triangle, add two circles on either side for the cheeks to give the impression of a heavy and powerful head. Then from the sides of the head, draw two curved horns pointing upwards. The bull's horns are not too long, but they curve gently and are thick at the base. Let the horns extend out to the sides, creating a majestic and balanced stance. At this stage, you only need to sketch lightly without going into too much detail. Now add the legs. The bull has four muscular legs that taper towards the hooves. Start with the front legs, drawing two strong, straight lines from the chest down, creating two strong leg columns. At the end of the legs, draw the hooves as small, slightly obtuse triangles. The hind legs of the bull have a more curved structure. Draw from the hips, draw a slightly curved line down, then curve forward at the knee, then draw straight down to the hooves. The hind legs should show the tension in the thigh muscles, as this is an important part of the bull's strength. Next, add the tail. The bull's tail is long and ends in a small tuft of hair. Draw a soft curve from the end of the body, then add a short tuft of hair at the end. The tail does not need to be too thick, but should have a natural curve as if it is waving slightly. Once the entire shape is sketched out, let's move on to the outline. Connect the muscle blocks with strong but smooth curves. In the shoulders, emphasize the curve to show the sinew. In the chest, make the lines round and full to give the impression of fullness. The belly can be slightly retracted before widening towards the hips to create the correct anatomical proportions of the bull. When redrawing the head, keep the jawline and forehead clear. In the horns, add thickness and soft curves to make them look more realistic. Now let's go into the details of the head. Draw the eyes slightly high and set back towards the middle of the forehead. The bull's eyes are small compared to the head, but have a fierce look. Draw the eyes as small almond shapes, add blacks and highlights to add depth. The bull's nose is large and wide. Draw the nostrils teardrop-shaped and point downwards. Once you have the eyes and nose, draw the mouth in a slight curve slightly down to create a serious look. Next, let's move on to the muscles. The bull has very well-developed shoulder, chest, and thigh muscles. Use long curved lines that run close to the body to create these muscles. The shoulders need 2 or 3 small curves to show the overlapping muscles. The chest can be emphasized by a large curve running from the front leg to the neck. The hind legs can be made with a large curve to create a sense of expansion, then add a few light strokes below to create tension. Now let's add the hair. The bull's hair is not too long, but thick and smooth. You don't need to draw each strand, just use short pencil strokes in the direction of the body to create texture. In the neck and mane area, bulls tend to have longer, more upright hair, so you can add vertical strokes running down towards the shoulders to create a wild and powerful feeling. The belly and legs have shorter hair, so the lines can be smaller and fewer. Once you have completed the main lines, erase all the extra sketches. At this point, you will see the bull's shape become clearer and more majestic. Let's move on to shading. The areas that need the most shading are usually under the neck, under the belly, the inside of the legs, and the lower edge of the thigh muscles. Use a pencil to fill these areas with diagonal lines or evenly, and then blend lightly. When shading the head, pay attention to creating shadows under the eyes, under the jaw, and under the horns. This helps the face become more three-dimensional. If you want to color, prepare a dark color palette, because bulls are usually dark brown, black, or black with a brownish tint. You can start with a light color covering the whole body, then gradually increase the darkness in the shadow areas. The horns can be painted gray or cream depending on the style. The eyes should be kept brown or shiny black with small highlights. The mane can be darker to create contrast. For the skin around the nose, you can use a dark gray to increase the realism. To make the picture more vivid, you can add background such as a dusty ground, some sand splashes, or the shadow of the bull falling on the ground. These small details will make the picture deeper and more emotional. Thank you for following the tutorial. Have a creative and inspiring day. Today we will embark on a small but interesting artistic journey, learning how to draw a lively, familiar, and cute cricket. Whether you are a beginner just picking up a pencil to try drawing or you are familiar with basic sketches, this video will help you grasp each step clearly and gently. So prepare paper, pencil, and a little patience so we can get started. Before going into each step, take a few seconds to observe the image of the cricket in your mind. This is a small insect often living in bushes or garden corners with outstanding features such as long antennae, strong hind legs for jumping, and a body divided into 3 distinct parts. When drawing, we do not necessarily have to stick to the real shape in real life. The important thing is to keep the spirit of the cricket small, agile, and a little cute. That will help your painting have a soul and be much more natural. Now let's start from the first part, sketching the general shape. This is the most important step to shape the composition because a balanced composition will help you easily complete the details in the following steps. On the paper, gently sketch a small oval in the front that is the head of the crayfish. You don't need to draw it too dark. Keep the line very light so that you can easily edit it when needed. Right behind the head, sketch a slightly larger oval to create the chest. This chest will be where the 2 front legs attach. Finally, the abdomen of the crayfish is usually longer and more tapered than the chest, so draw another elongated oval in the back, slightly curved to create a soft and flexible feeling. At this point, you have a basic skeleton of the whole body. Look at the overall shape again to see if the parts are balanced. If the head is a bit small, you can increase the size slightly. If the abdomen is not slim or short, you can adjust it to be more reasonable. This is why we are using light strokes. Flexibility at this stage will help the whole final drawing look much more harmonious. Next, we will move on to the details of the head. The cicada has round and slightly protruding eyes, giving it a mischievous feel. You can draw 2 small circles on either side and add a little shading to give the eyes depth. Don't forget the long antennae. They are an important highlight. From the forehead, you draw 2 long curved lines, slightly extending forward. The softer the antennae are, the more lively your cicada will be. If you want a cute style, you can make the antennae slightly thicker and curved like 2 soft strings. On the other hand, if you want a realistic style, the antennae should be thinner and longer. Coming to the chest, this is where we start to work on the legs. The cicada has a total of 6 legs, evenly distributed on both sides of the body. The front 2 legs are usually smaller and simpler. You just need to draw short lines with joints. But the hind legs are the most distinctive as they are the legs that allow the cricket to jump. Draw them with 3 main parts: a large curved thigh, a long slender middle section, and a spiked lower leg. When drawing the thigh, create a strong curve to show strength. The middle section is long and slightly curved back, and the lower leg is where you can add small spikes to add realism. Remember that it is perfectly normal for the hind legs to be longer than the rest of the body, as this is a prominent feature of crickets. When you have completed the legs, you will see the sketch start to come alive. Now it is time to move on to the abdomen. The abdomen of the cricket usually has thin horizontal lines forming compartment-like joints. You can draw between 3 and 8 horizontal curves, depending on the length of the abdomen. If you want a softer drawing, keep the lines very light. If you want a stronger style, you can emphasize the lines to create strength and clarity. Once the overall shape is complete, we move on to the most important part, creating shadows and light to give the body depth. This technique prevents the drawing from being flat and helps the viewer feel the light and structure of the cicada. Imagine the light is coming from the top left, so the areas on the right and the underside of the body will be darker. Use a pencil to create light shadows on the lower abdomen, the back of the legs, and the lower half of the head. Don't rush to darken right away. Start with light layers, then gradually increase the darkness as desired. This slow painting method makes the drawing softer and easier to control. The cicada's antennae can be painted very lightly or left as sketches because they are thin. For the hind legs, you should create a transition from dark to light along each joint to show the bend and strength. The small spikes on the legs can be emphasized with short and quick strokes, creating a sense of sharpness. After you have completed the shading, it is time to add the background. A picture with only a cricket can sometimes be a bit empty. You can sketch some blades of grass around it or a curved leaf to create the feeling that the cricket is standing in its natural environment. These small details do not need to be too elaborate. Just a few soft curves and a little bit of shading is enough to make the picture deeper and more interesting. When everything is ready, take a look at the whole picture again. Rotate the paper or move it a little further to observe which parts need to be edited. If any lines are too thick or out of proportion, you can use an eraser to adjust them. The most important thing is that the picture has your own mark. Do not force yourself to draw exactly like the model because art is creativity and each stroke is a personality. Finally, when you feel satisfied, sign your name in the corner of the picture. This is always an exciting moment as it marks the completion of your own work. Hopefully through this tutorial you have not only learned how to draw a basket, but also feel more confident in your ability to observe and express yourself. Thank you for following until the end. I hope you have lots of inspiration to continue creating in the next drawings. See you in the upcoming videos.